Hi, Vijay Mistry here. In this video, I want to share with you the 5 profit and loss signals that will impact company growth. Now, you and I know there are many other factors and elements in a profit and loss which is going to have a direct and indirect impact in your organization. But I've handpicked these 5 which I believe are core elements to the shift and to the growth of your organization. Let's go straight into these 5 profit and loss signals. The first and foremost is gross margin. Gross margin is basically sales less direct costs gives you gross profit. And when you divide gross profit to sales and multiply by 100, you'll get a percentage. The main reason and the key signal you need to pick up is what is the variation in sales? That is the first point. What is that variation in sales that you see? Are your sales growing? Are your sales declining? What's happening to that pattern? What's happening to the customer behavior? That is very important. That is the first and foremost signal that you need to see. If there is a slippage in sales, what does that really mean? It means that something's happening externally. There may be a new entrant who's come and disrupting the market with technology-driven mechanisms. So you need to find out exactly what is happening as regards your sales. This is very important, this is very dynamic, and this is real. So this is the first and foremost. The second thing that I would like you to consider is your variable costs. Now these are the direct costs related to getting those sales. How can you add in more efficiency? What is it that you can do to maximize productivity? What is going to happen? Efficiency will increase and scalability will improve. So that is going to improve your gross margin itself. That is key and crucial. The third thing that I would like you to consider in this particular equation is that are your sales made up of credit sales as well as cash sales? There are very many organizations nowadays who have online portals and their whole business is run on e-commerce where they get money upfront. Consider an example like Amazon.com, where if you want to buy an item or whatever it is that you want to buy, you have to pay upfront before you get the item. So what is your business model? And if you do give credit, what is happening as regards the credit sales? Another key point, which is very important, is refunds. Are you getting a lot of refunds? Because that means there is something wrong with the quality, or there is something that is happening as regards the standards or the benchmark which other players in your industry have set. So you need to find out, and this is very important observations, which is going to give you a key profit and loss signal for you to ascertain and determine what is happening in your industry. Let me go to the next point, which is equally important. This is management expenses. Now, when I'm talking about management expenses, I'll start by giving you a practical example. I've been a coach, I've been an executive director, non-executive director, and I've spoken in seminars, I've met a lot of executives. Here's where a key struggle is that sometimes I see these organizations are heavy at the top. In other words, the management expense is quite high. But when you relate it to the value they add to the organization, it doesn't have the impact to the company growth as much as it should. So here are a couple of guidelines I would like you to do. And this is what I see missing when it comes to that executive level or management level. First and foremost, have brainstorming sessions. What sort of brainstorming sessions do you need to have? You need to have those sessions which is going to drive more growth, which is going to build upon the creativity, whether it's the packaging or whether it's the productization of whatever you are selling. That is very key and crucial. What I mean here is that I would like you to consider having that traction and having that management team of yours adding more value. This is where I see a problem. Another key thing that you need to do is step back and make sure you've got all the policies and procedures in place. Now, when I use the word policies, many organizations and many executives come to me and say that, look, we're not happy with this policy thing. But if you don't like the word policy, use blueprints, use dashboards, use what you find is relevant. I've helped organizations have just those navigational dashboards which have graphical analytical information. So have that sort of information and insights where you can easily see what is happening, because what gets measured gets improved. So you need to look into what's happening, have that dashboard in place, and finally make sure there is a consistent follow through. This is key and crucial. In fact, I've seen organizations and executives who, when I take a whole business board, and I'm referring right now to a family owned business, when I have that board sit together and ask them to write the vision of the organization, they're not even on the same page. That connectivity is missing. How are you going to have a sustainable business when you do not have the connectivity and the long-term linkage in place? This is key and crucial, and this is a key signal which I have noted. Work on this and add leverage, add value to the whole management and executive team. Let's move to the third point, which is equally important, and this is marketing. Now, the return on investment on your marketing dollars is key and crucial. Yet I see organizations spending their marketing dollars in activities which do not really produce results. I've seen one CEO of a manufacturing organization advertise on the radio, but he doesn't even have the analytics in place, and that has not really moved the needle or has not made any major impact to his company's sales growth. So what I'm trying to say here is look into the specifics of marketing, because this is where I believe there is a huge potential for your company to grow. Your marketing expense and your marketing budget, if it is allocated in the right places, it's going to increase and add leverage. It might multiply your sales as well, depending on what industry you are in. Marketing is so key. I mean, take an example of Facebook, for example. If you are placing an advertisement on Facebook, you can even split test AdWords, and there are complete niche and focused targeted ads which you can put through. Try seeing where you can add leverage. So this is very crucial. Another key point when it comes to marketing, right now people want information and insights. What are you doing to educate your clients and potential clients and customers? Because this is key. Have a channel, have a YouTube channel or have a blog which is consistent, dynamic, and engages everybody. This is very important, and I believe this is where companies may either make it or break it. Right now, we are in an era where you can leverage your organization exponentially. That's what I believe. Let's move to the fourth point, which is interest. Like I mentioned, I've been a corporate coach, executive director, consultant for many organizations. What I notice is that there is a borrowing. So you borrowed a loan and you got the money, but the resource allocation and the utility of the cash is not in line with the returns it's supposed to have. For example, hypothetically, if you're paying, say, 5% on a loan, are you earning a margin higher than the 5%? Is that resource allocation and the risks which you are taking paying off? This is again another area. And I want to go into another point when it comes to interest. I have seen organizations according credit facilities to their customers. What happens when they accord credit facilities to their customers and they borrow money where they have to pay the interest, irrespective of what happens, is they are becoming lenders for other customers. And this can be really costly, because I've noticed that There are bad debts in organizations. There are provisions for bad debts. These are written off. My point here is, if your organization has credit sales and you're borrowing as well, look into how you can have the utility more efficient, and brainstorm a session and identify and find out whether the resource allocation is appropriate and adding true relevant value specific to the growth of your organization. The final point, it's one of the most important in my eyes, is subscriptions. When I talk about subscriptions, this really changes the mindsets of many executives I've come across. And here's the thing. In the past, we used to invest heavily in software, whether it's accounting software or any other technological software helping your organization grow. What has happened? There's a huge shift and everything is now subscription driven. In fact, you can even get a website platform where it's just a drag and drop sort of platform, and it's so easy to navigate and make changes internally within your organization rather than having a full-time web developer or hiring a web developer. Things are changing. Even outsourcing is changing. So my point here is, what are those subscription-driven services and support mechanisms you can apply to your organization? A good example is bots, B-O-T-S, bots. And what organizations are doing is they use this artificial intelligence to act as customer service. So you can chat online and they can correlate and look for the answers or look for the solutions that you are looking for in order to answer your queries. And this is happening, this is real. So what is it that you can do to transform your activities and move towards a subscription driven portal which will eliminate some of your costs? So look into this, because I believe this is quite powerful and it can have a major impact in your organization. And while I'm on this topic of subscription, is it possible for you, whatever products and services you are selling, to have a subscription-based service which you can offer as well? In my company, Rent a Director, the company, I'm a corporate coach. I've got programs online, and I have one particular membership portal where any size of organization can join in, and that is the true face of Rent a Director. In other words, organizations don't need to pay heavy amounts and have those long-term contracts, but they can apply and use services at the highest level of excellence. And the point here, what I'm trying to raise here is, what is it that you can do to offer this sort of subscription models and subscription memberships in your organization? I hope you found these 5 profit and loss signals that will impact company growth insightful. I look forward to sharing with you more growth-driven insights to scale up your organization and help you become a world-class entrepreneur, leader, director, executive, and manager. Thank you very much. Bye for now.